WeRiseMag.com.
Hey guys! Hola! Welcome to Don't Mess with Texas. I promise more people will be here.
Yeah,
but right
they're
now,
coming.
See, we're punctual and awesome. The boys are kind of lame and slow.
Thank you.
So here's what we've just decided. Since they're late, we want you to come up with questions that they have to answer to decide who gets the chair.
And then we're gonna judge it. Should we write it on the board?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
They style racer. That'll work. Okay.
I really like this. It's just like playing teacher all over again.
I know. It's like we're teachers.
I believe this. That's pretty.
Educators and anime.
We try.
Okay.
I'm not very good at this. Okay. Ew.
Make them good questions, guys. Really hard. This is a punishment. For them, not for you.
All right, who's got... I saw Luffy's hand first. You got a question?
What's their favorite flavor jelly?
Yes! Oh,
favorite?
that's good.
But we have to come up with an answer. Somebody, what is...
Well, but they would judge it. We should make them all opinionated, and then the opinion-based questions, and then you guys judge which is the right answer.
I like it.
So it's completely subjective. I agree.
You should make them do a physical challenge.
Yeah!
I like this.
What's the physical challenge? We'll have...
Oh, no, Monica.
And this is why you should not mess with Texas, because we do this.
Yes. We're mean to each other.
Okay, what's the physical challenge?
Make them arm wrestle each other.
I like this. I think we should make them,
Yes,
walk.
push-ups.
We should make them walk an imaginary catwalk.
Yeah. Whoa, that's awesome. Okay, so this is how we'll cut it down. They have to do the imaginary catwalk first.
Gotcha.
Then whoever we knock out of that will do the arm wrestle.
Right.
What was the other one? Push-ups. They should all have to do push-ups.
They have to do push-ups to be eligible.
I like this.
They should dance.
They should dance. I like the physical challenges. Aha! Let's go with the physical challenges instead of the questions. Good question.
We'll all answer that question.
Yeah. So here's the deal, Lady McLatesters. Since you are late.
I'm at the mercy of my liaison who didn't know where the room was.
Well,
And done.
here's the thing. We have created a challenge to see who wins the chair.
I'll tell you who wins the chair. I win it. Yes!
Is that the guy?
All right! Don't mess with Texas!
That guy right there. Captured.
Oh, I'm fine.
It wasn't a gag, but that was the gag.
No, I'm fine.
That
No,
was
I-
what happened while we were late. They're like, let's screw with this
Yeah,
chair.
yeah, right.
No, we didn't touch the chair.
Wait, where's Haberkorn?
Sure you didn't.
Oh, wait, is Todd
This will be Todd's
That's
chair. when he
Todd's
comes
chair.
in.
Except that Todd.
We'll be like, here, Haberkorn, we saved this
Have
for
a
you.
seat.
How do we have to...
Oh, we gotta secure it, though.
Why don't you test it for me?
Yeah, well, I would hate for him to hurt him.
All right.
On my 10th birthday, this is a true story, I got a director's chair,
I don't
which
think
I was very
it'll- I think it
excited
broke.
about. And in front of everybody at my birthday party, my friends had fixed it so that the chair would collapse upon my sitting in it. Oh, it was a horrible 10th birthday. Yeah, none of those people are my friends.
Yeah.
Aww.
Well,
So not that chair.
so sorry to ruin the whole thing we just set up.
It's okay. It was a nice idea. Your hair looks nice.
I thank you. Thank you. I just got it cut. We have the best barbers in the world right here in Rochester.
No, I don't want to battle.
We'll make Todd battle.
Yeah, we'll make Todd
And
do
then
it.
be like, here, Todd, you can sit in this chair.
Be very careful when you move it.
Take the guest of honor chair.
It's just for you. I guess we should introduce ourselves.
My name's Todd Haberkorn.
I knew you were a girl.
Deep down inside.
Yes.
What? Who are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike McFarland.
Hi, Mike McFarland.
The hesitation.
Hi, I'm Cherami Leigh.
Woo!
How many guitars did you buy?
Fine. Your hair looks great.
Thanks, man. Just sit next to me.
Did you buy a guitar?
Yeah.
Damn it!
Curses! Foiled again!
We love you. I'm Monica Rial.
Don't lean back. I broke it.
What is your name? I mean, I know.
I am Emma.
Woo.
No,
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a little joke. My name is John Swasey.
Woohoo!
John Swasey.
Todd Haberkorn. Hello.
Ow! Woo!
She said she was Todd Haberkorn.
I did.
Somebody's
I said I was
lying.
Todd Haberkorn in the
You wear it
beginning.
better than I do.
No, I don't believe it.
Just one. I got a hard case.
Ooh. Sorry. He bought stuff.
You bought 2 cases.
Because I've got to check the guitar.
Oh.
Right.
So what happened was,
What have happened?
my guitar is being repaired, the one I have, so I have 3 gigs coming up, and I need to be able to practice between now and the gigs, which take place next week. And so I don't want to not be prepared, so you gotta, I don't know of a guitar tree that grows guitars that are ripe, especially in this season. And so I decided I had to go get one.
A guitar tree?
The guitar tree is just a seedling right now.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I just got
I see. What'd you get?
a Taylor.
Taylor? Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
The House of Guitars? No, I went to Guitar Center.
Oh, I just picked up a Taylor. You know,
Yeah.
Well,
I
You
just
know.
thought
It was on the side of the
Yeah.
road.
it was
About
either
a
a
Martin,
Taylor
you know.
or an Epiphone nothing. It's just a Taylor.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, now you get the cushy chair.
That's what
sit.
happens when you try to trick a Haberkorn.
Boom. Well, this is Don't Mess with Texas.
Right.
Yay.
So what does that mean exactly? Don't mess with Texas, as you all may or may not know, was a slogan in Texas, and it
Jayhawk.
really involved littering.
Yes,
It was
true.
don't mess with Texas, basically don't litter in Texas. And so it just kind of became a big catchphrase. But I'm guessing that don't mess with Texas for this purpose means that Texas actors are far superior to
Any other.
Canadian or LA or any other coast actors.
Cool. I'm glad we got that sorted.
Yeah. So, thank you guys.
And we'll fight the others.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
But in truth, Texas really is the leader, I would say, in anime. I mean, since it's really for about the last 15 to 20 years, because ADV started in Houston, was the #1 distributor of anime in North America for 12, 13 years. And then Funimation took over that slot, and so a lot of good anime. A lot of good anime comes out of Texas. Now, there's obviously some that comes out of California. There's some that comes out of Canada, but I just don't know if it matches in quantity to what comes out of Texas. I memean, at one time in Texas, there were 4 anime studios between Dallas, Houston, and Austin. So, it's a lot, and it's cultivated a huge number of very talented voice actors. I'm privileged to be sitting with 4 of the best, and but
so
there's
sweet.
Vic is originally from Texas. Chris Patton, the Ayers brothers, Lucy Christian,
Laura Bailey.
Laura
Troy
Bailey.
Baker.
Even you want to go way back, Amanda Wynn Lee was originally from Texas. So a lot of great voice actors have come out of Texas. If they're not still there, they certainly started there and cut their teeth on anime there. And I don't know
which hurts.
if
A
you,
little.
I don't know if you all, I'm sure you all have experienced this, but when we do conventions together, we all work for the same companies or same company. And so we do a lot of stuff, the same projects, work on the same projects. And it's interesting though, when you do a panel or you go to a convention and there might be some Vancouver actors or something and people start bringing stuff up to sign. And I'm not kidding you. I'll be sitting next to, remember Rachel that was in the studio last week, came in just to visit, okay?
Yes.
California, great actress, wonderful. But literally, she's sitting next to me, and everything that's coming out, not in that, not in that. And I'm just, no, I think, yeah, that one I'm in. So it just, a lot of the quantity and quality, I think, comes out of Texas. And I don't think it can be disputed.
Well, I'm glad you did all the bad mouthing, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
Also, I think, Funimation kind of owns Toonami right now.
Yeah, I would say that's.
It's pretty rad.
That seems to be okay with most people in the room.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yay, Solida.
As John mentioned, the distribution for sure, because Texas actually doesn't make anime.
Yeah.
But as far as the English dub and the distribution, a lot of it comes out of Texas, and between one company or another has done so for quite some time.
Woo! I guess we should let you ask us questions.
You with a hand.
Why Texas? What was it that started, what happened in Texas and all of a sudden Texas is the hotbed of anime? It's not where I would have picked if someone said, oh, where is all anime come from? I probably
It's just a bizarre set of circumstances all around. I don't know the specific Houston circumstances.
It was John Ledford and Matt Greenfield were friends, and
Anime.
they loved anime. And they said, why don't we just start dubbing it into English? I think they originally started with subtitles. I think they even started with a company called Soft Cell, which was bow chicka bow wow. And
They're the ones that made
Nothing
Tainted
soft
Love.
about that.
and but that gave them some seed money to then start going into, and they just started growing and growing and growing, and they just happened to be in Houston. I mean, it wasn't like, let's start this in Houston. It's like, we live in Houston, let's start it. And Houston has an enormous amount of talented theatrical actors, as well as some screen and stuff like that. But so they really didn't have too much trouble finding talent to do this kind of stuff. And like I said, I mean, that, we started learning how to do it, and after a while, it's very second nature. You just know how to do it. So it's
And
not,
the Dallas market area, the story is, I assume, pretty similar. Gen Fukunaga had some sort of connection with some folks that make anime, specifically Toei, and happened to also live in Texas and happened to also decide to, let's start doing this. I think for Funimation, the initial year and a half, 2 years after its inception, the dub work was being done in Vancouver, but the company was based in Texas. And at some point, they're like, crunch, crunch, number, crunch, crunch, crunch. This doesn't make any sense. Dallas, the Dallas market, much like the Houston market, there's a lot of theatrical actors. It's one of the top 2 or 3
Non-union.
places in the United States for commercial and industrial acting.
Absolutely.
Like everywhere from all over, no matter where your company is or what your company does, comes to Texas to shoot. And they use Texas talent, et cetera, and that easily transfers over into all various forms of acting, including ADR dubbing.
I think another business actor-y reason, I don't know if it went into anime, but it certainly goes into production of commercial voiceover. It's a non-union right to work state, so they're not bound by union regulations and union laws, so they don't have to pay you a ridiculous amount of money in residuals and things like that. So and that is the case in Los Angeles and New York, I know for sure.
Right.
And Vancouver.
But
oh no, Vancouver's not union, are they? Because most Canada's not.
Yeah, they are.
They are?
Yeah, but the thing is with anime, as you just mentioned, residuals and whatever else, that doesn't happen in anime, so it doesn't matter.
True.
It's just a matter of all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Yeah.
So you're wrong.
I am. I was wrong.
With it being a right-to-work state, though, that doesn't necessarily mean less money, as you mentioned. Sometimes it does. It means that it can or can't be union.
Right.
Like,
right.
as a for instance, a lot of movies shoot in Texas, and they're obviously union films. Something just shot there recently. There's stuff that's shooting there all the time, but what's
The Parkland? Is that the big
Parkland.
movie that shot there?
yeah,
in
Parkland,
Austin?
which is I believe about JFK
Yes.
assassination surroundings. That is
Vagina
obviously
Chronicles shot in Texas.
Yes.
yeah.
The Lion Game on ABC Family shot in Texas. A lot of shows.
Secondhand Lions.
Yep.
A lot of stuff is shot in Texas.
Dazed
And
and
these are
Confused.
obviously
Dazed and Confused.
big union
Richard Linklater.
films.
Yeah.
So they can either choose to or not choose to, for anyone who's not in the union, hire you. I myself, as a non-union actor, am hired to do union work all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Ow!
stuff.
You've mentioned LA, New York, and Vancouver. Are there any other locations where voice work can be done for anime?
I've heard, and I've not heard, like I know that it exists, I just don't know much about it. There is a company that licenses like 70s, 80s, early 90s anime that never got picked up by anyone else, like kind of like retro anime. And I want to say it's like North Carolina or something like that.
There used to be a studio there, so that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they still are active dubbing, but I haven't seen anything that they've done.
What about New York? Isn't there
New
anything
York.
in New York?
He said New York,
He's
I
in
thought.
What's
New
that?
York
I thought he mentioned New York.
Oh, did you say New York?
Yeah.
LA, New York, and
Oh, I didn't hear you say New York.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think New
sorry.
York is predominantly the Pokemon now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pokemon.
The Pokemon.
They all
do-
live there.
They all
yeah.
live there in New
If
York.
you want to catch them all, that's where you go.
Gotta go to Manhattan.
Yeah, we'll get you just, you had a question?
This one's kind of for each of you individually. What do you think is like the best size for a convention to be? Like really big conventions, small ones, somewhere in between.
I'll go first since I'm on this end. To me, it's not always the size. It's, you know, what goes on and what you're asked to do and the surrounding area. Like, there's a lot of different things that would make me want to go to a con, and the number of people that show up isn't necessarily the be-all, end-all.
True.
Sometimes gigantic conventions means that you won't be able to find anyone to help you if you need something. You won't have a liaison. You won't know where any of these rooms are supposed to be or whatever. And on the flip side, it could also mean that, you know, you could go to a smaller convention and have all of those things, but like 20, 50, 100 people might show up, or, you know, the whole event's like 300 or 400 people. So there's give and take to any situation. As far as my personal preference, I like cons in towns where there's stuff to do at night that's fun, and, you know, I like the medium-sized ones a lot. That feels like it's a lot of fun, like the mid-thousands up to the lower two-digit thousands.
Yeah. I like the smaller ones. I like the smaller ones only because you get more FaceTime with people. Like, I recognize a lot of you guys from being here in Rochester before and at Syracuse and like all of these smaller ones. Yay, Syracuse. It's nice that, you know, we get to know each other as opposed to just, hey, because sometimes, like, especially at Expo last year, you know, we went for Penny and Stocking and it was just like, go, 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 run, sign.
Expo was
So-
scary because I went as like a fan and like met up with you guys, and
We barely saw you.
I know. If I hadn't been with John, who's 6'5", I wouldn't have been able to see anything because he was just so tall. I just follow, which was nice.
Oh, I kind of pictured you riding Yoda on his back.
The Yoda backpack.
Yeah.
That should be my cosplay.
Yeah, you're Yoda.
I'm just like dressed like a backpack.
Cherami as Yoda.
Yeah.
I like it.
I would totally.
I like smaller cons. I'm having actually a very small con in my room tonight.
Con.
3 people are invited. So, yeah, it's our initial con. Yeah, but I mean, Mike really
The
touched on
signing
it.
is for 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah. One panel. It really is the quality of the people and not the quantity. I mean, you know, we've all been to conventions where there's 20,000 people, and it's impressive to see 20,000 people, but you're certainly not going to meet all of them. And, you know, they probably don't even want to meet you. So there's a handful that do. So it's really, it really is just the quality of the people. And to be honest, the best thing is the people, the fans, but also the staff. If you have a really good staff,
absolutely.
really attentive staff like Tora-Con, then yeah.
And I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Right.
The questions are there. I've been to panels, it's like huge, and everybody just sits and stares at you.
Yeah.
And it's painful.
People Aquarium.
Yeah.
It makes us nervous.
I was at a convention over Thanksgiving in Texas, and it was a very small convention. It was maybe under 1,000 people. And
It wasn't the 3 that's in your room.
no, they didn't even show.
Oh, no.
So no, but I mean, it was it was they were very nice, but it was very unorganized, and it was so because it was so small, it was in the Castaway Motel on the beach, and the after con party was in the room next door to mine, so, and I had my family with me, and it's just like,
That's awesome.
it's like, God, it's 4 a.m.
Just getting started. Woo!
So it was okay, but it was very unorganized, and just they were sorry. It was like, well, yeah, it's all right. So it is helpful, when we come, because we enjoy these things. But it's nice to be when people have their ducks in a row, and you can certainly go with the flow, but you want it there to be somewhat.
Yeah.
Todd, been awfully quiet on this end of the table.
He's waiting his turn.
It doesn't, the size of the convention as far as the fans go doesn't really matter in the sense that everyone is the same level of enthusiasm, no matter the size, whether it's 1,000 or 100,000. They're all there for their love of that particular aspect of their fandom, whether it's anime or cosplay or AMVs, things like that. I like the bigger cons because I like the AV setup of the rooms as more monstrous. The best one I had was when I was in a room and they had fog coming up and fire, and I had the Cowardly Lion come in. I had the Tin Man come in.
Dude, it's going to be in my con tonight. You should stop.
John Con. And then Haberkorn is tomorrow.
Right.
But it's and you see all sorts of it's wild where the size of the cons, the disparity of them as well, but the one thing that is the constant is the fan enthusiasm. And also, typically it's hit or miss, I guess, as far as staff goes. I mean, sometimes you get those huge cons where you don't see your staffers till Sunday.
As I was just mentioning.
Yeah, definitely. And then sometimes they're like right on you to where you're with your family and you're like having a moment with your mom and the camera pans out and the staffer's like right there. Yeah, that's cancer. Yeah. And go ahead. Stuff like that. So it's it varies.
Questions? Oh, who's picking?
Oh, wait, she had a question over here with me.
This is, so what are some of the oldest dubs put out by Texas-based companies, and...
10 Commandments was the oldest one. Sorry, what was the other part?
What was the second part?
And which voice actors were in them? Do you guys know who are you in them?
For Funimation, the oldest stuff that they put out had Vancouver voice actors in it. The oldest Texas dub for Funimation was, I think, maybe 4 years after Houston, and it was for a Dragon Ball movie called Sleeping Princess in the Devil's Castle or the Devil's Hand or something like that. And I was in that, and Christopher Sabat and Laurie Steele, and I think everyone else who was in it no longer voice acts actively. But I was in the first round ever of Texas folks to work on anime in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
I don't know what ADVs, but I know Ava was really early on.
Ava was early. I know the earliest one I did was Golden Boy in '96.
I did Nadeshko in like
I did
99.
Nadesco. But
Nadesco.
new from Nadesco. Yeah, so I mean, when I started doing anime, I mean, Jason Lee, who is now married to Amanda Winley, we were doing a comedy show, and he was our opening act, and we started talking, and he's like, we started talking about voiceover, and I did Audition, as we all do commercials and narrations and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, I do a lot of commercial work. And he's like, have you ever done anime? And I was just like, what the hell is anime? He's like, it's Japanese animation. I'm like, you mean like Speed Racer? He's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, exactly like that. I said, no. They've already made Speed Racer.
No, get out!
Yeah, get out of my sight.
John!
I said, good day, sir. So, anyway, so I went in an audition, and I had no clue what was going on. I mean, it was very, wow. So it took me a little bit of time to get used to it, and then, of course, as ADV started growing, then we just started doing a lot of it, and it suddenly became,
Almost ridiculous amounts.
Yeah, and you realize there's a whole subculture of people that like this, and you're like, wow, I had no idea. So it was pretty cool.
Ham radios, anime.
Pretty much.
Well said. Oh, yes.
Isn't there a lot of opportunity then for a younger person in the Houston area who wants to get into animation? Or
I would say, since I think for anybody that's interested, like there's certainly opportunity. I know that at Funimation they just had open call auditions. I don't know that Sentai is doing that anymore.
Yeah, no, I just actually I did a demo for a guy. He wants to be a voice actor, and he lives in Beaumont, which is about 90 miles east of Houston. And he really wants to do anime. And I said, well, you can do it in Houston, but really the hotbed is Dallas, Fort Worth, is Funimation. I mean, there's no question. And I said, so, and he goes, well, I'm thinking of moving to Dallas. I'm like, well, when you do, then I would pursue it. But he actually drove up from Beaumont to that open casting and did it. And he just called me the other day and says, I think it went well, and I'm trying to move up there. And I said, well, it's better, you've got to be in the city where it's being done, because in my experience, and Mike, you would certainly know, well, all of us know, but Mike is directing and whatnot, and if you're just trying to get in, unless you just blow somebody away with an awesome audition, which is possible, you're probably going to start off doing very small roles, bit parts, walla sessions, where they'll call you in for an hour, maybe 2 hours.
The day before,
yeah,
absolutely.
or can you come in this afternoon?
Yep.
And you can't be in Beaumont and go, yeah, I'll be there in 5 hours. and I'll make $50, $100.
Are they now in Houston, or are they out of Dallas, Fort Worth?
Who?
Funimation's in Dallas.
Funimation is in
always
Dallas.
been in Dallas.
Yeah, one time I you need to be in the city. So I've lived in LA for a couple years about now. And
Yeah.
I was doing a session at Funimation, and I think it was for Fairy Tale, or I forget which show it was. I was doing a session, and on a break, I got a phone call from LA, from my agent, and they wanted me to do, this was on like a Tuesday, and they go, hey, tomorrow at noon they need you for World of Warcraft. And it was my first time working with Blizzard. And I was like, I guess I need to do that. And meanwhile, this was like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I called my Alfred to bring me an overnight bag. And as I'm driving to the airport, I'm booking the ticket to fly to LA.
Oh, I can't do
at
that.
that time.
And the airline laughs like,
Yeah.
it's going to rain money from
$4
Todd
million
Haberkorn.
for
Oh, you need a
this
last-minute flight, do you? Let me add 5 zeros
Yeah,
to the end of the
pretty
ticket.
much.
Yeah, we're
We have a
talking like-
special last-minute rate.
Yeah, buying a ticket at 5:30,
It's the best
6 o'clock
seat.
p.m. for a 7:30 departure, 8 o'clock departure. Imagine what that was like.
Yeah. Oh, God.
$100 million.
So,
No.
but I made it to my session.
That's how it is for any aspect of this business. Any aspect.
Like,
I was
yeah.
working on Friday Night Lights, and I did one episode of Friday Night Lights. They wrote my character back, but they neglected to tell me that they had written my character back. And it shoots in Austin. I live in Dallas. They knew this. I was on a plane. I was actually at the airport in Chicago going to DC at a convention. And they're like, hey, so we need you for a fitting. Can you get here in an hour and 20 minutes? No, because I live in Dallas anyway. You are in Austin. Okay, well, we need you to film tomorrow at 5 a.m. well, I know that you guys planned this, and I know that you have to have rewrites, so why wasn't I notified? But that's just how the business works. In LA, anywhere else. They're
So what
like,
happened?
I wasn't able to do it.
So they
Yeah.
wrote a horrific death scene. For
They wrote
Look at
me
this
back.
picture of this girl who died.
Yeah, they wrote me back, and then they created a posse that came, and there were 9 girls that had to split my. It was 3 scenes too, so they were trying to make me a recurring character.
It's like in the Avengers when you see that quick headshot of Natalie Portman, you're like, oh, there she was. That's her time in the movie. Great.
Yep. So that happens, and you also get. I got a phone call. You got a call back for such and such film. The producer is there. They want to meet with you tomorrow, 9:15. It's 5 p.m. that night, and it's in New Orleans. Well, I can't drive to New Orleans. That's not going to happen. So you have to book a flight and fly out there, and then you might or might not get cast.
Yeah.
It's the only
But you
bus-
definitely
yeah.
spend a lot of
But
money.
you definitely spend money.
It's the only business in the world where delayed gratification is poisonous to that line of work. I mean, your whole life, your entire life, your parents are saying, you want dessert? You gotta eat dinner first. You want this video game? Well, you need to do your chores and maybe you save some money and at the end of the month you can get it. When you grow up and you get into this business, it's like, I need you to come to an audition tomorrow. And then we have to frickin' do it.
Yeah.
For these
And
people,
if we do, and if you don't do it, like I was told when I was 6, if you get a call for an audition, my mom would have to pull me out of school. If you don't go to that audition, there's a very high possibility that they will never call you back ever again. Because there were 90 people that were able to be there at that audition, so it looks like you just aren't dedicated.
Cherami's the troublemaker blacklist.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And I always stress about that. And that's a stressful situation. And we've all been there where we're like, I physically cannot do this.
Yeah.
I
I
am
did
one human being and I cannot teleport myself.
But we need those Star Trek teleporters right now.
Yeah.
So
Seriously.
bad.
Seriously.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be so sweet.
Yeah, I was,
But
oh, go ahead, sir.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, but in all fairness, and we all have lives, and,
Wait, what?
I'm like, well, maybe it's because I'm the oldest, but I'm just like, you know what, F you. I'm not going. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. You know what the deal is. You know how. So I get a call to go do some anime in Houston from this director. And I say, great, love to. Thanks, man. It's like a couple hours, no big deal. He calls me the day of. Hey, man, I need to reschedule you. Can we do you next week? And I was like, sure, no big deal. The next day, I get a call from my agent saying, hey, you're booked on this, huge commercial. Tuesday. Crap. I'm supposed to do this anime. All right. So I call the director. I go, hey, man, I know you had to reschedule me. I need you to return the favor. I got booked on this big job. Can we reschedule? No, I'll just have to recast. Really? Okay, and I've never worked for that guy again. And it's like, you know what? I don't even want to. If that's how you're going to treat me, you have
Absolutely.
zero respect for me, apparently.
See,
So I don't even want to be a part of that.
in my position, I never ever hold that against anyone. If someone's booked on something and it's an amazing job and an amazing opportunity, I'm A, so stupidly happy for them, and B, I'm more than happy to move it around because I want to continue working with people who are so stupidly talented that they book a job like that.
That's what's been great about Funimation is I've never ever had an experience with anyone where they've been like, sorry, we're recasting you.
Yeah, if you have to reschedule, they're very cool
They're
about
really
"We'll
cool
just
about it.
reschedule,
They
it's
will
fine."
work with you like to the ends of the earth to make something work.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, I refuse to come back, I refuse to drive, or I refuse to get there ever. Then they're like, well, fine,
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, if you sever your own tie, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes we get that every so often. Like I recently got another email. Tara is the name of the girl who does all the booking for us. She'll let us know like someone has moved and can no longer take roles, or someone has now joined the union full on, no FICOR, and can no longer take work. You know, that happens every so often, not super often. It's more about the moving away or whatever than it is the union thing. But they let us know that. Otherwise, as Sherry mentioned, you have to make it very clear that you don't want to come back. Or there's the extremely, extremely rare circumstance where someone is such a douche canoe. That she don't want.
That's the best word I've ever heard.
That she,
Okay, you remind
that
me
she
to
don't
tell you
want to.
something
That she
later
don't want to
about-
call him in to work again because it's such a painful, migraine-inducing experience.
So don't be a douche canoe.
Don't.
Do not paddle the douche canoe.
I'm gonna cause
That
trouble.
being said,
Well, and
I'm
there's,
sure
there's, you know,
it is
and
way
there's a
easier
difference.
if
There's a
everybody
huge
lives
difference between taking responsibility and going, doot, 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 doot. Tara, this is John. I know that I'm booked next Monday for 9 hours, and she knows I'm driving 4.5 hours from Houston. And it's hard, you know, when they get it scheduled, they kind of want to, you know, keep
Yeah.
it because they've bent over backwards to accommodate
To make all the
other
And there's,
directors.
there's 80 other actors.
Yeah,
that
I
they're
mean,
working with.
it's I can't go up there for an hour. So, but you know, I haven't done it much. Maybe twice in 12 years of working there. I said, look, I've got a problem. I cannot do that day. Can we move it? And I'm sure there's exasperation, but I'm not like calling Monday morning going, oh yeah, I'm not coming up today. You know, you've got to take, as long as you take responsibility.
You know I'm supposed to be there in 10 minutes?
well, I'm
not
still in
happening.
Houston.
It's so weird. I'm not gonna be. Isn't that weird? It's weird.
That did happen to me actually one time. I was doing Helsing in LA, and then I got a call from the engineer, from Kyle.
Yeah.
And Kyle goes, "Hey dude, where are you for the commentary?" And I'm like, I can get there in 6 hours if you're cool. But wait, because I totally forgot that was happening, and so it's so rare. It's kind of like you're saying. It's like once every every.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that people know, like, if you're an actor who's willing to, like, jump over a million barrels to make something happen and
Yeah.
kill yourself, people will be willing to work with you, or at least give you a second chance if you screw up. Because
Right.
it's inevitable. I've
Right.
screwed up so many times.
Oh yes.
I know, all the time.
Oh yeah.
All the time. And I cry myself to sleep and think everyone hates me, which they do for about
Cherami.
a couple months.
Greater than or equal
Longer
to
than that.
screw up.
It's true.
So not a screw up.
Let's go in the very back, way up there.
Hi, can you play something on your guitar maybe for us?
Oh, hey! Do it.
Here's the thing. I don't know how to do two things: read or play guitar.
Which is why he paid $8 million for his guitar.
7 million.
7.
It
Well, I
was
felt
$8
so-
million for that ticket to get to LA.
I feel so bad because we went to Guitar Center and the staffers were so awesome to take me to go get it, but they underestimate how long something like that takes, because when you get a guitar, especially when it's something like a Taylor, this is a rosewood Taylor. I mean, it's a very beautiful.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I'll get it out.
It's a
And I'll play it for you.
it's
Hard shell, right?
Yeah. It's a rosewood Taylor, and when you select these things, you've got to
playing
play
musical
on them. They're
instruments.
all
Yeah, I
different.
could
He
sing
had
a little
2 of
bit,
the
but
same
I'm
guitars.
not
One brand new out of the box, and it played differently and looked differently than this one. And I wanted
It's really
this.
pretty.
And so you got to select it like you're picking. It's like you're going to a Russian adoption agency and you're picking out the child you're going to adopt.
Great case.
It's like you got to look at it. You got to throw them in the water. Which one floats? Which one doesn't?
Which one?
Which one cries
Oh,
and responds to
is
pain?
that how it works?
Just toss it.
I didn't know.
300, like, there's a flaw.
Suddenly, the baby in the bathwater saying has a whole new meaning
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, so you got to pick it, and you got to take time, you play it, and all that kind of stuff, and so we selected it, yeah.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
why don't you play some Who for us? And see, nobody gets that. They don't know who Who are.
No, I got that right when you said that.
They bash their instrument.
There are no picks.
And you know, on my keys, I have my picks. C major 7.
And I might slide into a G.
I thought he was about to sing C is for cookie.
Yeah, do that. C is for cookie.
It's good enough for me.
C is for cookie.
It's good enough for me. It's good enough for me.
C is for cookie. It's good enough for way home.
Cookie, summer tea. That was my favorite song ever. Woo! favorite song. That's the Cookie Monster song, if you guys don't know.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's when I started voice acting, because I was like 3 and like, C is for cookie, put it up for me.
What is that?
In
Nice.
Texas, everybody can play guitar.
Except for Cherami and Monica.
All the boys can play guitar.
That bird's been free a long damn time.
This is I'm gonna do this song for Todd.
It's really beautiful.
I was in a band called the PC Cowboys. We were a politically correct country and western band. We were based out of East Texas, and we were headed to Florida.
I like where your voice is going.
I really enjoy this accent.
We were headed to Florida for some shows, and the truck broke down in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I mean the map
Geography's
was
hard.
upside down.
Wow.
It turns out if you've been drinking, the map upside down Idaho looks a lot like Florida. So we didn't make our shows, but we did write a song called Idaho, and it goes like this. Idaho, but I lost her to a welder named Foster. She broke my big old heart in two.
I was gonna say somebody's got to
Idaho, and I miss her. So I moved in with her sister. In a small way, dreams do come true. Boise don't know what I'm missing, 'cause my baby did some kissing. She saved all the wettest ones for me. Broken heart will be my jailer when I come home to my lonely trailer, even though her sister is for free.
Oh.
Idaho, but she left me. Oh, she was a little hefty. She always let me be on top. Idaho, and I miss her. No, need her. Something but a welder went and freed her. Well, I'm a crying, and I'm afraid I just can't stop. Pocatella ain't my style, though I miss her three-tooth smile. And all the little promises she said. She never gave me no infection, 'cause she always had protection sitting on the nightstand by her bed. Idaho, but I lost her to a welder named Foster. She broke my big old heart in two.
That was awesome. That was pretty Texas. That was really, really
I like how
wonderful.
a song dedicated to Idaho dedicated to me.
Well, because you know. I'm kidding.
Yeah. I believe what you mean is.
That was very Texas.
That was really.
Yeah, that's why
really
you
good.
don't mess with Texas.
Because they'll write a song about you.
It's very pretty. Thank you.
It's gorgeous.
nice.
It's really,
Yes.
really pretty.
Taylor's
Love
a nice
Taylor's.
guitar. So, yeah, question? Oh, you know what? I'm going to get you in just a minute. Anybody over here? Who kind of a, yeah, right there.
I wanted to know if voice acting for anime is any different from any other sort of voice acting, and if so, what's the appeal of anime voice acting?
Good question.
I think that they're all kind of different. The voice acting for American cartoons or prelay cartoons or video games would be the closest thing to anime voice acting, because everything else is Bank of America would like to blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or or something, thank you for calling blah blah blah. Your call is not very important to us.
or imaging for a radio station. They all pretty much sound the same, just based on the style of station.
You're listening to Crappy Von Crap Crap.
Yep.
Here on K-Crap. K-Crap, all night long. Nothing but crap. So the appeal for me for anime is that living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we do get some film production, we do get some television production from time to time, but there's not going to be an instance too often where I'm going to get to be the captain of a spaceship with 7 people on it and we're going to fly across the galaxy. That acting job doesn't happen in Dallas very often, unless it's anime or video games
Unless
or
you want to pay for it.
Yeah, unless you and your friends want to do it.
Yeah.
But any of these cool storylines and cool acting challenges aren't going to be, in a Whataburger commercial.
No? No. Well, and I think, and you probably feel me on this, like I get to do some of the younger voiceovers.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll do like, Neutrogena, it's awesome for your face. That kind of stuff. So that's kind of fun, but it's the only place where I get to play characters that match what's coming out of my face, and I don't have to change my voice.
Yeah.
Because when I do VO, a lot of times, and Cherami will go,
Snickers. It's what you're having for dinner.
you know what I mean? So I constantly have to change my voice.
Monica.
What? So when I go into commercial jobs and they'll book me off of a demo or an audition, and then they meet me and they're like, "Oh, your voice." I was like, "Oh, just give me a second. We'll fix it."
How's this? You like this better?
Like, oh,
I'm Darth Vader.
yeah. So it's fun with anime because I don't have to change my voice. I can use my natural voice, or I can change it ridiculously, or I can play a critter, or I can play a child, or a grown-up, or an alien. It's awesome.
My days of playing a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old on camera are done.
As of last week.
As of last week. I've officially graduated to 12. And then in the same, actually, one of the first sessions I did at Funimation, I played a grandmother and like a 4-year-old in the same session. And I mean, the grandmother was 11, trapped in an 11-year-old body, but it's still a grandmother, no less. And then also, in no other industry can I play someone's mom who is actually the same age as me, and then in another anime, it's my husband. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, like you said, in Texas, when you're working on stuff, you're getting hired 9 times out of 10 working as a local, and that's like 5 to 10 lines. You don't really get to have an immense character. You're just like, hey, you're the checkout girl at the counter that talks to the star of the movie that's like, would you like a stick of gum? And they're like, great, that was fantastic, perfect.
You
and
are our stick of gum.
You're getting cast based on how you look and how you fit in with the cast. So it's nice to actually be an actor and get to go in and say storylines and act things out and do your job and not be like, stick of gum girl.
Yeah. I know for the casting that I do in anime, it's very true. I'm casting the best talent and the most suited for each thing, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
That's it. The stick of gum girls that I have are some new person that's trying to get their foot in the door. But
for on camera, height is an issue.
Yeah, there's all sorts of issues.
Well, everything is a problem.
Height is an issue. Other things that should not have any bearing at all have issues. Like,
Always.
Is she wearing a ring? She's married. She's probably taken care of. She doesn't need this job.
Yeah.
Like there's people that
This is actually the one business on camera in particular. I know it's a veering off voice act what you're talking about. This is the one business that you cannot get hired for on so many different reasons that if you worked in corporate America and it was any one of those reasons, you could sue the bejesus out of them. You're too black. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're too white.
It's true.
Sorry. You're too you.
I didn't get hired for something because I looked like the producer's daughter and the character had to make out with someone and it made him uncomfortable to see someone who looked like his daughter
Which has got
making
nothing
out
to
with
do
someone.
with you.
I'm like, that's not my fault, dude.
Yeah.
But then I have gotten hired because I looked like someone's daughter and they're like,
And they wanted to make out with her.
Yeah. Take what you get.
I have this movie we're casting, and it's called Make Out With Me.
I play the me
And
character.
2 auditions, and you're having your 4th callback.
You will find there are directors like that will say, I mean, I was 17 at the time, so it was awkward, and they said this is an ABC open call, and my sides were for a 37-year-old woman who had slept with someone. I'm like, does everybody not get that I'm 17? I play 14, and this is highly inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, do you want to like dishevel yourself and maybe like unbutton a button? And I said point blank, I do not. And he was like, I mean, like, I feel like it would work with the scene. I was like, I feel like you can use your imagination.
Yeah. I also feel like you can go to jail.
Yeah. And he goes, so how old are you? I was like, it doesn't matter. Because I don't have to answer that.
No, you don't.
Now, I mean, now I don't have to answer it at all because they cannot hire you because you might look 16, but they're like, well, we want a real 16-year-old. That's dumb. You could pay for a tutor too. I'm trying to save you money.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, that's just, in that instance, that would be one of the few things that anime is like that. Because I would rather hire Monica or you than a real 6-year-old. Because I want to get the job done and I want it to sound good.
Well, the other thing, I worked with a 6-year-old doing it, and they loved the kid. He was great. He was hilarious. But he'd memorized his lines and worked with his mom, and they threw the legal tag at him, which is a cruel thing to do because he just has to talk really fast. He had a meltdown, a serious meltdown. And we were like, all we need you to say is like, I love my Cowboy Bob jammies. And he was like, I can't. So I had to say it because I was like 19 playing his 9-year-old sister and he was playing 5. And the poor kid like had a meltdown. So then I heard the producer go, we're hiring adults from now on. Because you can't throw anything at a young kid most of the time.
Yeah, and it's I was doing a show one time. I was directing a little. It was for Germany. There was a German cartoon that wanted dubbed into English, and they wanted kids. I mean, they wanted kids. We were like trying to tell them, look, man, we've got a slew of actresses that can sound just like a kid. You'll never. We even submitted them in the audition process, and they just kept going, well, which ones are adults again? Well, Lucy is, okay.
We're trying to trick you. Which
Yeah,
ones do you think are adults?
Exactly. She'll be good for the mom, but, and it's like, it was brutal, because we're trying to do it on an hourly basis, and, any one of us can go in the booth and knock out 50 lines in an hour, and you bring a kid in, you're trying to figure out your budget, you bring a kid in, and it's like 10, maybe. And the kid is just, you're in the booth, you're like, okay, Davin, here we go, you ready? Davin, you in there?
And he's like, these headphones are falling off my ears.
Picking the foam off the wall,
Yeah.
Like, good
and
Lord.
And it's not that they're not good actors.
No,
or
they're
that
very
they don't,
talented
They're
kids.
very talented kids, but just doing this part of this type of
Yeah.
work, it's really difficult. We're dealing with synchronization, and if we're doing dub work, then you have a previous performance that you're trying to at least aim something off of, like this is the ballpark of what we're going for, and then the character's on screen going ma 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 ma. So there's that pause and that pause, and you have to do it,
And it's
it has to make
purely
it sound
cold
like
read.
it's the pauses were intended to be there to begin
Yep.
with. And you're 6, and all it means I don't know what any of that stuff means.
Enter in a box
Yeah.
in front of weird people. Weird grown-ups.
Yeah.
Did you have a question way up top?
Unfortunately, we're at time now.
Okay, can we do one
We
more?
got one question.
One more.
But what is the weirdest thing that a fan has ever done or sent to you?
An ear. I don't know.
I was like, somebody really sent you an ear?
Van Gogh was a fan.
Weirdest thing a fan has ever sent.
I know. I've got one.
You go ahead.
This is. I hope I don't offend anybody, but I play a character named Salvador in Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Thank you. And there's a line, I was telling Mike about this, he has a line that never made it into the game, and I just found this out last week because I was so bummed about it that it didn't make it, but they censored it. But the character, Salvador, he talks like this, and he's gunzerkering and, got both barrels flying, and the line was...
really?
it's like having 3. And so I was like, oh, that's hilarious, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm at a convention in January, and this guy walks up with this wood burnout he made of a character named Huang that I played in Darker Than Black. I'm like, oh, you made that? That's so cool. You know, it's like he burned it out, and it really looks good. And he goes, I also made you this. And it says, it's like having 3. It's like, dude, where am I going to hang that? You know, hey, honey, look what I got.
Well, thanks, you guys, for
Thanks,
coming.
guys. Thank
We'll
y'all.
see you later.
Oh! Hey, I got to tell you, speaking of Texas, I was supposed to do a movie tonight called Lake Texarkana Gamera. It's a live Japanese action movie that we dubbed as East Texas Rednecks. It has been moved from 9 o'clock tonight to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So if you can, come by and have an early morning laugh fest. But it's at 9 in the morning.
It is the same location.
Same location, yeah.
WeRiseMag.com.